give a very special thanks for the people who are in this room right now at 10 a.m. on a Friday. Yes, give yourself a hand. Yes, this means that you guys know how to work it like a job, as Michael Dean would say, and you're willing to do the work, as Prince said. So I really appreciate your presence, and I know that there are a lot of you out there online. I appreciate you as well, but I love me some in-person people since you're kicking it in person. So I am your pilot. Yes. We are flying aboard Seduction 747. Please remain awake until the aircraft has come to a complete stop. Welcome to Satisfaction. All right, so for those of you who don't know what the heck am I talking about, that means you need to listen to Prince 1999, the album, and more specifically, International Lover. And you'll understand, especially if you've been getting the Eventbrite messages, and if you think I'm smoking crack or something like that, it will make a lot more sense if you listen to International Lover by Prince on the 1999 album, because we are here for the Triple Threat Symposium. Woo! All right, so Michael Dean tells me I need to talk to the newbies because I normally don't talk to the newbies. I talk to like the purple nerds. So for those of you who don't know, Triple Threat is what the fans dubbed the 1999 tour because it was a triple performance by Vanity 6, and technically today is Vanity 6 Day. That's the reason why I have on my signature pink, because that was sort of their color. And then tomorrow we'll be celebrating. Their debut album was eponymous, meaning it was self-titled. It was called Vanity 6, and it was released in 1982. Technically 41 years ago, but we're still, Purple Rain hasn't been released yet, so we're still in the 40 years of 1999. And then for the second act, it was The Time, and the album was What Time Is It? And it is one of the best albums that Prince recorded, because if you don't know, The Time on record, especially for the first 3 albums, were essentially just Prince and Morris Day. So for all intents and purposes, the Time albums are Prince albums. So I want everybody to be very clear about that, with Morris Day obviously on vocals, Morris Day on drums, and some assists from Jesse and other people in the Prince Purple verse. But then the third album and the third live performance of the set was for Prince's 1999 album, which is I'm drawing a blank. So we started off with For You, then we had the self-titled Prince album, then we had Dirty Mind, then we had Controversy, and we came to 1999, Prince's first double album, and that makes 5. So we're 5 years in at 1982. Prince's first record came out in 1978. So that's a little bit of Prince one-on-one for those of you who may not know. So I have to do a lot of talking, and I won't be talking this much except for the beginning of each day because I have to give thanks. So bear with me, and we'll get the party started at about 10:30 with the presentations, and we're also waiting for more people to get here. And I'm going to come over here because I feel like I'm going to drop this phone. So I would like to welcome you to NYU, and more specifically NYU Tandon, which is my faculty home. We're currently in a NYU Tandon School of Engineering building. I am a faculty here at NYU Tandon, but I'm also an associate vice provost at NYU at large. And I really want to stress this. Time is our most precious commodity. I am extremely grateful that you have spent time out of your lives to be here this weekend with us. It means a great deal. Some of you have traveled great distances. I have Declan in the house who came all the way from England, and he's here at 9:30 in the morning in person. So And last but definitely, so we got some special guests walking into the house. So I'm going to let you guys know who are maybe hanging out on the live stream. You're going to come later. Jill Jones just walked into the house. Yes. The lady cab driver herself. You could have been here talking it up with Jill, but no, you're not here. You're not here. All right, so hopefully you will come back later when we do a keynote with Jill Jones at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please show up for Jill. I want to give Jill her flowers today. Today. So those of you who are out there on the live stream, if you know any local people, please tell them they can still register on Eventbrite. And it's TripleThreat40.eventbrite.com. They can still do it. And then again, the live stream, but all of you out there live streaming already know where the live stream is, but it's at on the symposium website, which is TripleThreat.polishsolid.com. So that's where you can get your live stream fix. So I have a lot of thanks, so please bear with me. So first of all, I have to give a massive thanks to NYU Tandon and their entire campus logistics team for helping me make this happen. I specifically want to give a massive shout out to Lauren Ip for helping me this morning. She has been just absolutely phenomenal. She was the first person here to make sure everything was set up correctly. And there's so many other NYU people I could thank, but I'm going to get to them, but I probably will miss some people. With every symposium that I've ever done, I usually start my thanks off with Mabel Ivory. And Mabel Ivory was the person who believed more in me than I did in myself. I didn't know I was going to get emotional about that. Oh, my God. So this all started back in 2017. I met Mabel Ivory for the first time outside of a Revolution concert at Webster Hall. She was with a friend of ours, Deanna Martin, and it was after the concert, and they were like, do you want to join me for dinner? And I was like, sure. So we went around the corner, and we started talking, and I told Mabel, I was like, I really want to watch Sign of the Times live with some Prince friends in a little room at NYU. And she turned and looked at me, and she was like, why do you want to do that when it could be so much bigger? And on the spot, she was like, we're going to make this happen. I was like, okay, we're going to make this happen. And we made it happen like within 2 or 3 weeks, actually. We put together the Sign of the Times. We call it Peach and Black Sign of the Times screening and panel. And it was the very first time that the Core 4 came together. And we have one of the Core 4 in the audience, Zaire Ali. Yes. And the other core board, they will be coming soon, and that's Anil Dash, that's Miles Marshall Lewis, and that's Elliot H. Powell, and they have participated in every single Prince symposium, but also every single Prince event I've ever done. They came to Atlanta when I moved to Atlanta. They came online when we didn't know what we were doing. And so they've been with me from the very beginning, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, so I have massive thanks to them. I also have to give massive thanks to my colleague, Luc Dubois. He believed in me. He gave me the money to start off. He was like my starter funds. And he continued to support me. He doesn't think I'm crazy to do this every year. You're doing it again, right? He was like, we need to do it in person this time. So he's been very, very supportive. So thank you, Luke, if you see this. And then our dean of NYU Tandon is Dean Yelena Kovshevek. And again, she could say, why are you doing this Prince stuff at an engineering school? But she allows me to do it, so I have to give massive thanks to her. I also have to give massive thanks to Dr. Deborah Willis, also known as Deb Willis, who I want to be when I grow up. She is my biggest cheerleader, and she supports me in everything that I want to do. I also have to give massive thanks to Dr. Lisa Cohen, who is the Chief Diversity Officer for NYU, for supporting me as well. So there's a lot of staff that has helped me. Number one is Tracy Figueroa. She's probably out there on a whatever you call that swing thing for, because she like broke her ankle or something, and she's like still helping me even despite that. And then Sam Jackson is incredible. They've been helping me. Krista Battersby has been with me from day one. She doesn't even work at NYU anymore, and she is here today to help me continue this. And then Samantha Skinner has been very, very helpful. Janelle Green, Dee Jandai Simmons. I don't even have words to describe how important she is. Jason King. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional today. I apologize. Joe Holt, who is the founder of Bandcamp, who is in the audience today. Nothing but mad love and respect. Okay. NYU Tandem's media team. And I've already talked about Lauren, Will, Chris Alvarez, and his amazing team. So we got Andre and we got Thomas in the house. Thank you so much for doing this live stream for us. It looks lovely. And Chris Alvarez's company is called Transcendent Enterprises, so please connect with him for all your live stream and AV needs. He's amazing, and he actually is a Tandon alum. So we definitely want to support our own. And I have to give a very special thanks to Michael Dean for making a serious commitment to me for what did Prince do this week. I asked a lot of my Prince posse, who's coming with me? We're gonna talk about Prince every weekend. And I tried to make it like a small ask just for 1 year, when in fact it's gonna be more like 6 years. But I didn't tell them that. It's like, just for a year. And Michael Dean was like, sign me up. And he has been there every single week. And we're trying to keep it like 1 hour, but the past 2 weeks it's gone to 2 hours. But we're gonna try to cap it at 2 hours. So what did Prince do this week has been really amazing and really synergistic with the symposium, because right now we're in the second leg of 1999 tour, and we're actually reading Dwayne Tudall's book, the Purple Rain Sessions, but there's actually a lot of 1999 in that Purple Rain Sessions studio book. So we've been talking about the 1999 tour since January, every single weekend, and we're gonna do a live session tomorrow on Saturday at noon, when we normally do What Did Prince Do This Week? So it will be our first time doing it in front of a live audience, and so I'm super stoked for that. Can't wait, and I hope that you will join us. So I already talked about the core four, but Elliot just came into the house, so we got, yes, I already thanked you, Elliot, but I'm gonna thank you while you're here. I'm just talking about how you supported me from day one. You're my day ones, yes. And we do need a better name than Core 4, and Miles Marshall Lewis suggested the Crystal Ballers. I don't think so. So if anybody has any suggestions, that would be great. So I'm sticking with Core 4 for now. And then also I'd like to thank all the attendees from the past 5 years of symposia and other events. It's been 5 years. Actually, this is the 6th year, so it's been more than 5 years. And I can't believe the time has passed so fast. And to be honest, these 3 days are gonna go by super fast. You know, we're kind of like in the honeymoon phase right now, but we're gonna really get into it. And then all of a sudden, we're gonna like snap our fingers and it's gonna be Sunday and we're gonna be done. So the thing I want you to do is make sure that you actually commune with the folks around you, because we're all Prince people, and Prince people are the best people on the planet. We are. All of my friends are Prince people. No lie, I'm not making this up. All of my friends are Prince people. They'll be with you until death, because Prince is endless. And so the conversation never dies. So, to the attendees this year, you're aboard the Seduction 747, and we are going to have a ball. To all the attendees here today and on the stream, again, thank you. And then I also have to give some special thanks. I have to give Reverend, who did the graphics and design for the symposium. I can't thank him enough. He is just a design genius, and I love what he did. And if you look at the poster very closely, you might see something. I'm not going to tell you what it is, But just like go spend some time with the poster, kind of stand a little bit afar and look at it. So just look at it. So it'll come to you one day. And by Sunday, if you haven't figured it out, I'll let you know. All right, and let's see. In terms of the other things, I'm sure I forgot somebody, but I hope you will forgive me. So here are the special things. My husband. Yes, my husband who holds it down like no other. He is also a massive Prince fan. We got married on June 7th, which is, if you don't know, is Prince's birthday. We actually met each other at a record convention looking for Prince bootlegs. And I won't tell you the rest, but there you go. I also have to give very special thanks to my Aunt Nett and Uncle Carl for taking me to my very first Prince concert, which was the 1999 tour. So I went to the 1999 tour as a 12-year-old, and I remember Vanity 6. I don't remember Prince, but I remember me some Vanity 6, and I think at the time I was thinking girl power. I think that's what I was thinking. I remember it as clear as day, Vanity 6, but not Prince, even though I saw the whole show. And I have to give massive thanks for my mom, who has put up with my Prince love for over 40 years and given me the permission to go to the Triple Threat tour because luckily she didn't know who Prince was at the time. Because she told me if she would have known who Prince was, I wouldn't have gotten to that concert. So thank you, Mom. You did not know. And last but definitely not least, Miss Jill Jones. I'm going to try to keep it brief because I don't want to cry. But Jill, I mean, like the Prince verse was very, I don't know. There was such a female presence in the Prince verse. And as a little girl growing up in the South and being told what you can and cannot do, growing up in sort of a Southern Baptist household, so many rules and regulations. Prince didn't have any rules or regulations. When I saw that Dirty Mind cover, I was like, he don't have anybody telling him what to do. I want to be like him. And then when I saw Vanity 6, I was like, they can wear whatever they want, So going to church, you got to wear stockings, you got to have the gloves, I was like, they can wear whatever they want. But then, when Jill Jones released her self-titled debut, and if you've ever seen that cover, I felt so much joy and so much freedom. And I looked at that cover and I was like, that's my girl. That's who I want to be. And the reason being is that because Jill had her clothes on, on the cover. And I don't know, one of my favorite, I'm sorry, I'm going into the keynote, but one of my favorite photos of Jill is on the back of the For Love 12-inch. I don't know if you know that cover. She just looks so happy. And I was like, I want to be happy like Jill. And then last but definitely not least, we are only here. I'm only here because of Prince. Only here. So we have to give love and respect for a man who created such a limitless universe. It is my alternate universe when I don't want to be on this earth. So I just want to thank him, and that's the reason why I do what I do. Now, we have to get to our housekeeping, which is massive thanks to our wonderful sponsors, and they are really wonderful. So NYU Tandon, who donated the space that we're in today, and other stuff as well, lots more than just the space. So mad gratitude. My program, which is NYU Integrated Design and Media, which is at NYU Tandon. That's the program where I teach. NYU Office of Global Inclusion, Diversity, and Strategic Innovation. We call it OGI for short because at NYU we love acronyms. And the NYU Institute of African American Affairs and the Center for Black Visual Culture, which is the director is Dr. Deborah Willis. And NYU Photography and Imaging, And the director of that is Dr. Deborah Willis. Like I told you, I want to be Dr. Deborah Willis when I grow up. And NYU Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music, and NYU Liberal Studies, and Joe Holt, again, founder of Bandcamp, and Prince Syllabus, which hopefully Zaire is going to talk to us a little bit about what's going on with the Prince Syllabus. And if I miss someone, I apologize. Let me know, and I'll make sure I say it tomorrow. And again, Reverend for the amazing symposium graphics. And then we always have to have our disclaimer. I want to say Celie's disclaimer, but I'm not going to say it, which is we don't know the mofos and we don't care what they think. But but the real disclaimer is that the yes, the one that's going to keep us out of jail is the estate of Prince Rogers Nelson has not licensed any of his intellectual property to the producers, advertisers, or directors of the Prince TripleThreat40 Symposium. In other words, the Prince estate has absolutely nothing to do with this. So I have to say that. And let's see, I think I did all of, I feel like, so the bathrooms, hopefully you should know where they are, but if not, you can go out this door, and if you go to the right, there's some down that way, and I think the door's open on this way. If you go to the left, then there's some on this left hallway, and you should have been given a Wi-Fi out in the lobby, but just in case you did not, this is the NYU guest Wi-Fi password. You might want to take a picture, baby. Ain't got time to waste. So I think that's it. Any questions? Any general stuff? Okay. So let me give you a lay of the land. So basically, today is going to be Vanity 6 Day with essentially some triple threat tour action. I'm going to pull up. I apologize. I should have done this before, but that's okay. We are going to wing it. So the main thing is the schedule at a glance. And if that will go away one day. There we go. So you can see the schedule at a glance. And actually, I'm glad I'm doing this because I forgot to say this. Today we are in Pfizer. This is Pfizer Auditorium. But Saturday and Sunday, the next 2 days, we're going to be at 370 J Street, which is literally a hop and a skip. So we're not very far from 370J. It's going to be on the second floor in room 202. And tomorrow, the doors are going to open a little bit earlier at 9 a.m. Versus 9:30 today. And then this is really important. I think you guys are like rested right now. You might not be rested by Saturday or Sunday. So I want to make this announcement now. If you arrive here early on Sunday, nobody's going to be here. Just remember that. We're going to do a virtual only panel, not at 370J. So our first panel is going to be a virtual presentation. So from 10:30 to, well, actually from 10 to 12:30, it's going to be totally virtual. And then the doors are going to open on Sunday at 1 p.m. And then the welcome will be at 1:30 p.m. All right, so for today, we are going to have Vanity 6 presentations. We can't wait. And then we're going to break for lunch on your own. There are a lot of great restaurants in the area. There's also DeKalb Market, which is a really awesome, like, sort of kind of gourmet-like food court. It's not like your mall food court, so don't, like, if you cringe at food court, it's actually better than that. I wish I could call it something else. Maybe they call it something else, and I just don't know the right lingo. Then we're going to have a Vanity 6 album roundtable. So the difference between the presentations and the roundtable are, with the presentations, we're going to have 20-minute presentations by each of the presenters. And after they do their presentations, they're going to come back up as a group, and the moderator is going to ask them questions about their presentations. And then you're able to also ask them questions as well. You should have received note cards, so write them down on the note cards, and we'll get them. And if also going to use something called Mentimeter, where you can type your questions on your phone, and I'll talk you to that when we get to that section. So I see some head nods. Some of you guys already know all about Mentimeter, and you know when I'm talking about, some of you guys are like, what? But it's pretty simple. You just type in this, go to this URL, type in a 6-digit code, and then you can just ask away, ask as many questions as you want. So we're going to try that out and see how that goes. And if not, just kick it old school and just go with the note cards. Then after that, we are going to have a 1999 tour roundtable, which I'm really looking forward to. And again, it's going to be a conversation because it's a roundtable. Then we're going to have a 2-hour break for dinner on your own. And then we are going to have the one and only Jill Jones in the house for a Q&A with me and all of you. So make sure that you have your questions ready to go. I won't be able to ask all of them. So that's today. So today is Vanity 6 Day / 1999 tour. Tomorrow's going to be What Time Is It Day. And there's going to be the beginning of 1999 presentations. And then the third day is going to be all about 1999 with a very special presentation by Dan Charnas on the Lindrum, who is the author of Dilettante. I'm extremely excited that he has agreed to join us. He's actually NYU faculty, so he was like, sign me up. He's very excited. I'm excited. I don't know if you've read that book, especially on audio, but it is incredible. So check out Dilettante. And he also talks about Prince quite a bit in Dilettante. So it's not just like random. It's a Prince connection. All right, so we are basically, I can't believe I'm pretty much on time. We're gonna actually, I'm gonna have Robin come up and we're gonna start these presentations. Please give Robin a hand.